and a speechwriter in the Clinton administration, also author of Look, How a Highly Influential Magazine Helped Define Mid-20th Century America. Let's start with you, Philip. Initial assessments.
Well, I think that the first conclusion is that the opinion polls got this completely wrong, because remember, up until earlier today, they were saying that it was going to be a neck-and-neck fight and it was impossible to project who would win. What we're seeing from the first results coming through is a very clear advantage for Donald Trump, which forces one to pose the question, why are the opinion polls getting this wrong? They got it wrong this time, they got it wrong in 2020, they've also got it wrong in 2016. In all three elections, they have failed to fully understand the impact, the number of supporters who are backing Donald Trump. I think there are a few reasons for this. I think that maybe some people who are saying they're going to vote one way, then decide they're going to vote another way. They haven't made up their minds when they're interviewed by the pollsters who come around. The pollsters also have to make projections themselves about where they think the vote will go, because it was too early to get a foregone conclusion about who is going to be elected. But I think there's been a lot of careful planning about the fact that nobody should take the polls too seriously this time round and say that one candidate or another candidate has won the election, just to be careful that they don't put their money on the wrong person. That's why we've seen Donald Trump coming out so much more, with so many more votes in the projections so far, and more than likely to get to the presidency of the United States. Second point is, I think that this is not only an historic election because Donald Trump is being re-elected to the White House, having already been president of the United States between 2016 and 2020, then being a gap period with Joe Biden, but also because we have a convicted felon, 34 felony counts, someone who's elected to the White House. That is the first time in US history that has happened. And the other concluding point is that it appears that the US is still not ready for its first female president. However hard Hillary Clinton tried, however hard Kamala Harris has been trying, it appears that the electorate is not willing to give the benefit of the doubt to a woman to run the country and to be in the White House. That is not good news for equality and for gender equality in the United States. Will we ever get a female president in the United States? Probably yes, but it's still, I think, one of the conclusions from this election is just it's too early.
The way things are going, Andrew, for Donald Trump, is this the most dramatic comeback in US political history?
Well, it's certainly one of them. He claims that, but Richard Nixon's comeback in 1968 could be seen as a more dramatic comeback. He had said the press won't have him to kick around anymore when he lost California in 1962, but it certainly is a dramatic comeback, and it's a big deal for the Republican Party to win an outright majority of the popular vote for the first time since 2004, and really only the second time since 1988.
One of the issues, we go back over the years, the famous quotes about "Is the economy stupid?" the Kerry campaign, I think it was, back in the day. You were a speechwriter, remind me, was it?
Bill Clinton.
It was a Clinton campaign. When you're looking at this now, as a former speechwriter, looking at the messaging from Donald Trump, looking at the messaging from Kamala Harris, who succeeded, who failed, to what extent? Is it down to Trump's unique brand of, let's face it, often saying things that absolutely are not true in any way it's quantifiable, but he gets a message across? And compare that with Kamala Harris, as you see it.
Well, I think a lot of Americans no longer get news from reliable sources. I think they don't really follow the facts. Donald Trump is a compelling speaker. He's a demagogue in many ways. Harris was much more moderate as a speaker.